Hello everybody, it's Maikito, and quickly going over last video's picks. Player prop wise, it was a 4-2 day. When it came to the ones in the video, Mohamedi pushed with 2, Hussein higher than 0.5 shots on target hit, and Morgan higher than 3 shots hit. And then I had 2 added plays in the YouTube comments and description, and both of those hit. Kokaro higher than 1.5 shots hit, and Yo higher than 1.5 shots hit. And our misses was, first of all, Hussein higher than 3. Minnesota took the lead early, got a red card, and then just played defensive the rest of the game. They didn't even have another shot on target after like the 20th minute. So that was unfortunate for us that they got that red card. And then Polson to go lower than 2.5 goals allowed. They conceded 3. They scored 2 back-to-back with 20 minutes to go, so that was unfortunate as well. And then Spain played their whole B team, and they got punished, and they lost to Egypt, and now they have to play now they got second place in their group and have to play a tougher opponent. But player prop wise, it was a 4-2 day, so it was still a pretty good day. There's some more games tomorrow. There's Women's Olympics and there's League Cup, but I'm just gonna avoid the Women's Olympic because we saw what happened last time. So there were a couple of picks that I did like. There I'll probably will have more picks tomorrow, but I didn't want to force anything, so I'll just get straight into the ones that I do have. My first pick is Elliot Panico to go lower than 3.5 saves, playing at home for Nashville, going up against Mazatlan. In general, I just think this is too high of a mark. Although Nashville is in bad form, they still only allowed 12 shots at home, which is an average mark. Could be better for a home team, but at least it's not like 14 to 16 shots. Mazatlan have played 4 away games this season so far, and opposing keepers have gone under this mark in 3 out of the 4 games. And Mazatlan just played New England 3 days ago, who also allowed 12 shots at home, and they only got 2 on target. So first of all, they just played a similar team that allows similar amount of shots, and it was a good mark for us to take now at 3.5. And they just played 3 days ago, so they're not fresh, and Nashville is. So it's a good matchup for Nashville to exploit a tired Mazatlan team. And there's always the chance that Mazatlan could score early and play defensive. I just don't think Mazatlan get that many opportunities. They're tired, and Nashville's gonna want to go out there and win at home. So like Elliot Panico to go lower in 3.5 saves. My next pick is Fernando Tapia to go higher than 2 saves, playing for Tigres going up against Puebla. He's played 1 game in this last game, and it was a great performance. He kept a clean sheet, has 6 saves. Puebla have played 2 away games in which they had 5 shots on target and 2 shots on target. And in both of those games, the keepers had 2+. In one, the keeper had 2, and in the other one, he had 4. And it's an away game for both teams, and the Tigres keepers has had 2+ in 2 out of the 3 away games that they've played this season. And I think Tapia proved his worth in this last game after a great performance, so I expect him to play this next game. And this is the last game for Puebla. If they lose this game, they're out. They lost the first game, so they need to win. So they need to try to be aggressive against this Tigres team. While it could be a bad matchup for them, they've had bad matchups this whole season, and they've still managed to shoot at least 3 to 6 to even 8 on target against opposing keepers. So I think this is a good mark for a desperate Puebla team that need a win. I like Fernando Tapia to go higher than 2 saves. My last prop is Carlos Saint to go higher than 1.5 tackles, playing at home for Dallas, going up against Juarez. He's had 2 starts this season, which were these last 2 games, and he's gone over in both games. He had 3 and 77 minutes against St. Louis and 2 and 74 minutes against New England. And then before that, he had 2 games off the bench, 1 against Austin and 1 against LA Galaxy, and he had 1 in both of those, and he only played like 20 minutes, so that's good for us. He's a young player who's given an opportunity, and he's done well in these last 2 games. Last season in the MLS Next Pro, which is a different type of league where like young players play and stuff like that, he averaged 3 tackles. So that's a good sign that he's gonna tackle. I think this market's just low in general because there's not much data on him, but I think he's gonna do well. Like I said, he's already gone over in both of his last starts with 2 and 3. And this is the last game for Dallas as well, so they need to be aggressive and need to try to beat Juarez so they can try to guarantee their spot in the next round. So they need this game, they need to be aggressive, and I think it's a good mark for an aggressive player like him. I like Carlos Saint to go higher than 1.5 tackles. I want to give a shout out to my partner, Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. And I also have the YouTube memberships for those that are interested in that. It's for those that want to get the video out before anyone else to try to avoid potential bums, play getting taken away, and a good way to support the channel if you ever want to do that as well. And if not, I also have my Cash App linked in the description if you ever want to give back and feel generous. There's no requirement, or I'd never require anybody to send anything, but anything that is sent really helps. And then I also have my Flip. It's a mobile app with the money lines. It's where I play the money line plays that I have it's those lines that I have on there. It's from that app. So if you want to use any of those codes, that'd be much appreciated. I mean, I really appreciate anybody who supports me in any way. I have one Moneyline play that I did like, one that's not as risky as the one as last video. Looking back at it now, it was risky to take Spain, knowing that they might have played their B team because they were technically guaranteed a spot no matter what. I guess they didn't want that first place spot or didn't expect Egypt to win. But I think this one is one that they cannot risk not playing their main team. They have to, and that's the Dallas Moneyline against Juarez. They lost their first game away to St. Louis, and now they're playing at home in a must-win game. I think it's a good mark, especially against their opponents. Juarez have yet to win a single game this season. They've drawn 1 and lost 3, and it's mainly because they have a bad defense. They've conceded every single game this season. They've conceded 9 goals in 4 games. And 3 out of the 4 games they conceded 2, and in 1 of them they conceded 3. So they have conceded a minimum of 2 goals in every single game they've played so far this season, and that's good for Dallas in general, because Dallas are actually relatively good at home. They scored 26 goals in 13 games, so they average 2 goals a game in general at home. And Juarez concede 2 a game so far this season, and they've won 8 out of 13 games, and 2 of those have been draws. So they've only lost 3 games at home, and I don't expect Juarez to be that team, especially since they've lost every game. They still have a game in hand, so they can still go through even if they lose. And Dallas, Musa is their top scorer, so I'm not sure if he even plays because he didn't play last game. I think he might have injury issues, but other than that, he hasn't been playing lately, and they've still been able to score. When Musa is not on the pitch, they've scored from everywhere. Almost every single player on the field, even the defenders, have 2 goals each. So it shows that it's not like Dallas are super reliant on one player. If Musa plays, better for us. But if not, doesn't mean they can't score. They've been able to find ways to score in every game. And now they're playing at home against a weak Juarez side. They need to take advantage of this matchup. Last game for them at home. They need this win. I like the Dallas Moneyline against Juarez. Thank you everybody for watching. If you could, like the video and comment as well. It's a great way to boost the video out to more people. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free. And if you could, turn on notifications so you get notified when these videos come out. And like yesterday or like last video, if I do have any added plays that I do like, I will drop in the pinned comment. I don't always post them. I usually do, but it's just because lineups change last minute, or players are playing a different position than what I expect them to be, or lines change and stuff like that. So you can see in the last video I added 2, and both of them hit. And I believe in the added plays that I've had so far in the last couple of days, for the most part, they've been relatively well. So you can keep an eye out for those. The lineups usually come out about an hour before the game, but I usually post the picks around 30 minutes before the game because I still need a little bit of time to do research. And then if I don't, like I said, it's just because I don't find anything that I do like. So I'll try to add if I can. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.